second interview in my management MBA class. So, Zach, you could start off just by introducing yourself, the industry you work in, your current job, and the approximate number of employees you manage.
Absolutely. Again, appreciate you having me on this. It's a pleasure to help you out through this class and part of this interview here in this discussion. So, again, my name is Zach Bones. I work in the engineering consulting spectrum, specifically with power delivery, basically taking large, high voltage stuff, which again, I'm not sure if many of those listening to this understand what that is, but then to the end user's transformation that ultimately feeds the devices that we're working on right now. So, I work for Power Engineers. I'm currently a department manager and a project engineer. So sort of a hybrid role, one for internally for helping our administrative management and managing peers, and then as well as helping our client do infrastructure and design engineering. Approximately to date, just hired about 4 this month. So I'm at 27 individuals that I currently manage.
Very nice. Right, I'm going to just have some questions here for you. So the first question to start with is, do you feel proficient at identifying various types of intelligences, skills, or strengths within individuals? Do you select, place, and/or develop individuals with this in mind? If so, how?
Yeah, I actually do. I've been doing this for a few years now, specifically going to career fairs and as well as just normal recruiting throughout the year, depending on our business plan. And I think what I've learned is you have to acknowledge what their tasks and hobbies are and their interests are, and really determine how those maybe skill sets or hobbies or maybe even clubs that they're in college, how those will help me pinpoint interest, because I don't feel like they're going to be successful if they're not interested in the task or the project we give at hand. So I think I've captured most of it and got a good grasp. I would say I'm proficient in it. For example, I guess an engineer I have used to be a teacher, had some hardship and was in an engineering role and went back to teaching high school calculus. Well, I found that instead of having him help me on administrative tasks, he was better suited to mentor younger engineers and teach them trades and skill sets. So I think that was one fine example, and I think I'm proficient at it, to answer your question, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, next one. How important do you feel personality plays into being successful? Which traits do you believe are the most impactful?
I think personality is everything. It goes along with communication. Obviously, you're successful in your role, too, at your job, and you're very personal and growing up and having that smart, funny personality. And that's what clients, I feel like, rely on, is someone they can call on, they're trustworthy, they communicate well. It's just an easier translation of, tasks and duties and, business if you're having fun communicating with the person you're working with. If we're just dull engineers and designers and just, monotone, probably not going to see the same outcome as if someone's sort of sparky and has some sense of humor with it and is just pleasant to work with. Of course, this goes with being reliable, trustworthy, and knowledgeable. So,
awesome. Yeah, next one. What do you feel is the primary source of job satisfaction?
I think it's important to just see your work get acknowledged and that it's making an impact. I definitely get a kick out of what I do to not only a couple different ways. I guess my engineering background would be, I always was really excited to see what I designed and engineered conceptually get created, constructed, see it in the environment, drive by with my son or my wife and be like, oh, that's the 90-foot concrete poles were built over I-35E in Dallas. That's just so cool that it's actually there and it belongs in the public and it's serving something. We just did Rangers Ballpark, helped a client of ours get served that new ballpark out there in Washington. So it's cool seeing that come to life. But it's also cool to help support the folks that I manage and others and mentor them and see them successful. And so basically, long story short, just that your work is acknowledged and it makes an impact.
Cool. Next question. What is the most effective way to bring in a new team member on board? Any examples that have worked well?
So this one's been the craziest one, especially during the pandemic and everything going on, and a lot of businesses shifting to work from home. Onboarding's tough, and it's tough in person. Now it's even tougher being external and working from home. So I think the best thing that worked well for us, and we're currently doing this today, is we make sure that everyone's involved. Everyone, it's not just one manager or me going, hey, here's what you're going to do, here's some training, let's sit with you for 3 weeks, and basically I'm going to hold your hand and get you ready to spread your wings and fly in your new career. I think having the whole team involved, having everyone chip in, play a part, it helps support our culture and it helps support the camaraderie I'm trying to build and develop in the workplace. So basically, getting everyone involved. Just don't make it manager. Let other people help bring them in from their own experiences when they got hired in, right? So I think that worked well. Just make sure they feel at home. And through that is camaraderie and culture.
Awesome. Next question. How does generational baby boomers versus millennial differences affect team dynamics and interactions and with customer and clients?
Differences affect team dynamics and interactions. Okay. Well, this is weird. I guess I wouldn't let it impact any dynamic. If anything, it would benefit because we're trying to, I think our culture here where I work, Power Engineers, is like a tent, and we want to encourage, if there's room for everybody, right? And when you have folks from that generation, typically they come with experience, they come with knowledge and wisdom and life lessons, right? So I hope that those individuals would be able to share those lessons and experiences with the younger, say, millennials or the younger generation. So I would say there's not really any differences that affect anything. Maybe I would think of positive, how it can grow our dynamic and grow our experiences. We're starting to see a lot of the clients, there's an age gap, and that generation of baby boomers are starting to retire. So it's important to get that knowledge and share knowledge amongst them and the younger staff, or you're really going to lose out on a lot of knowledge there that they've learned from past experiences. So, hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, just one last question. Do you think job attitude is a cause of performance or a result of performance?
I guess I would have to say this sort of goes back to your work environment. If you like what you do, you're gonna perform well, and you're gonna perform your job well. And I think that ties into what I believe in is culture and camaraderie. And so if you enjoy what you do, and you know your first question, for example, you put individuals in things they like to do, tap some projects they like to do, it should go hand in hand, and it should be a direct result of performance being at their place where they belong and what they like to do. So hopefully that answers your question.
Yeah, no, definitely does. And then just any kind of final words of wisdom, just from your years of being a department manager that you'd like to just share to anybody in the class?
It's simple. Just be yourself. Don't change your personality from one person to the other. Just be fair.
Awesome. Well, hey, Zach, I appreciate you sitting down with me and answering some questions and kind of just going over your experience as a manager. And I think it's just helpful getting your perspective for this class.
Absolutely, buddy. Pleasure to help you, Brandon. Go Pope.
Yeah. Talk to you later, buddy.
Take care.